Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. What's going on, everyone? Today is January 20th, 2025. It's MLK Day. Hope you're having a fine day, fine Monday, fine day of service, or had at this point. I guess it's never too late to still be of service to mankind. But it is getting kind of late in the evening already. Hope your week's off to a great start. Trying to start the week off strong. I think that was the High Priestess. I didn't mean to turn that over like that, but I think it was. But let's see what we got this week. Well, today, to start the week. My throat is feeling a little scratchy right now, so forgive me if you can hear my attempts to clear it in the camera. I think that was the last cut, so let's see what we got. Oh, wow. We got the Emperor, and then I see the Nine of Swords in the back. And what's this, the Three of? Oh, my goodness, the Empress. Wow, what's this? The Queen of Pentacles? Damn. Oh, wow, and the Tower. Yeah, shoot, it might be worse than I damn thought. Because I was getting the sense, honestly, of someone that was just in deep regret. Yeah, here's the Page of Wands about a choice that they made. The Emperor, and they made a strong ass choice too. Wow. And then the King of Pentacles. I feel like this is somebody regretting the choices that they either made in their youth or in a immature state. It's basically, my hands are tied. My hands are tied. Wow, what's that about? Somebody might be stuck in a commitment. Yeah, look at this. That they can't do anything about. His hands are tied. Well, they're crossed, but get into that. Because now that they have their wits about them, whatever that means, they can kind of see, I'm hearing the forest for the trees, but they can kind of see, like, it's like a full spread now, whereas once upon a time, maybe visibility was limited to make a choice, or their understanding was limited, their maturity level was underdeveloped. There was a lack of experience, perhaps even with the Page of Wands here, but someone was in an empowered position nonetheless. Let me move this over a little bit. An empowered position nonetheless to make a choice as an emperor. It's like what the Emperor is given to me is like someone, first of all, now having either aged or matured, whichever one, or just having been seasoned in their years. Even if there's not necessarily a lot of wisdom, you would imagine that there is, though. But if that didn't afford a great deal of wisdom, it's like enough time and experience has gone by to now see things differently, like hindsight being 20/20 in a sense. And so it's like somebody's contemplating the choices that they made, maybe when they had a more singular mindset as the King of Pentacles, maybe when they were just focused on material things or aesthetics or superficial things or carnal satisfactions, right? With the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. So they made a choice, whether it be in mate or just in fate. Damn, I heard that clear as day. Like they chose their fate at a tender point in life. I would say a tender age, but it really just feels like a tender point in life that ultimately was sealed in a certain type of way that couldn't be reformed or repealed. I don't know why I'm hearing these words. Reformed, repealed, like changed. It couldn't, like they couldn't retract it, maybe. It couldn't be a decision that was made at a time when perhaps visibility wasn't so clear, or there was only a singular perspective to influence a decision, has pretty much established a fate for someone that at this point in time is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like it can't be changed at this time. Like even now when you get to the point where you know better and you would want to do better and you can see all the cards, you know, in your hand, you know, or all the cards in the deck, so to speak. And there is more experience and more knowledge, maybe even a bit more wisdom on the table. It's like, damn, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have chosen, because this is definitely a choice situation with the Four of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Magician in the middle. It's like somebody was empowered to make a choice, and it was all up to them. It was well within, you know, their right to do so however they chose, you know, however they decided. And now as fate unfolds, it's being revealed that they may have chosen a less desirable path. The difference between this Queen of Pentacles and the Empress, and both of them are wonderful in their own right, in the upright. But the Queen of Pentacles, just as the Ace, oh, I see the Ace of Pentacles under here, as the King of Pentacles is a much more singular, it's like much more singularly dimensional than the Empress, who is 4-dimensional, at least, maybe even 5-dimensional. Get into that, the use of that word as it is on the surface and deeper. Yeah, so with the Queen of Pentacles, like somebody that could be quite prosperous, could be amazing, and again in their own right, but may not be as multifaceted or again multi-dimensional as such the Empress is, based on her experience, her affluence, her intentions, her wisdom, her access, resources, favor, maybe even anointing and appointment, as the Emperor and the Empress are, you know, more or less well, I guess the Queen of Pentacles, all the queens and kings have an appointment as well to their position. But we know, honestly, good, bad, and different, there's a disparity between the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. It's like where the Queen of Pentacles exists as herself in one dimension, the Empress is a compilation of the Queen of Pentacles and then some, and the swords and the wands and the cups, you know. So yeah. And where someone was thinking more one-dimensionally, as the King of Pentacles, literally considering the biggest bang for their buck with the Ace of Pentacles here. Oh, shoot, and I see the Wheel of Fortune. God dang. This reading is reading itself right now. Oh, I love these cards, man. The Wheel of Fortune is fate, it's karma, it's destined outcome. It's, you know, fortune. Yeah, it's everything that I've been talking about. It's something that, you know, you could definitely set that wheel in motion by your actions, your choices, your intentions. But ultimately, when it's, you know, once it's active, well, as it's initiated and activated, there's a certain science to its, how can I say this? To its, like there's a certain physics about it that is absolute, is what I'm sensing. It's like once your choices and your decisions set certain dynamics into order and into play, and kind of like, you know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So it's like you can change the trajectory of the wheel for upcoming directions and paths by choices you make now, but you can't go back and redo what you did before to change the trajectory as it is in this moment, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm saying that right. It's given like somebody is looking over their choices and wanting a do-over. Like they want to be able to go back with this Magician card, literally with the Wheel of Fortune, and undo the choice that they made when they had the authority to do so. And it's like now this is a person that could make new choices and hopefully reshape their fate for future. But the problem is that they don't like what they're experiencing right now. So there's really not much that can be done about that, because right now is the product of choices that were made back then, whatever back then is. Back then could be past seasons, it could be, I've said dimensions, it could be in other dimensional, you know, multi-dimensional in this case, if you subscribe to such a thing. It could be past relationships, obviously, because I'm definitely getting, you know, practically speaking, a choice between, like, say, two women, and somebody was seeing dollar signs or something more prosperous with the Queen of Pentacles. And, you know, the Empress, the Empress is an energy that takes time to evolve. You know, that's not an identity that emerges overnight. You know, like you got to put in some time, some experience, some blood, sweat, and tears. Most cases, like even though there's an appointment, like you may be in line to be a successor in a divine line, or in a regal dynasty of sorts, or even just in the legacy of, you know, a practical bloodline, like a family bloodline. Say you're the heir to a business or an empire. There's still some training and grooming and conditioning that would be expected to, one would be expected to incur before they officially take that position. You know, like you don't, just because you're the heir of freaking Apple, you know, doesn't mean that you you take over before it's your time, or say even, you know, when Steve Jobs did pass on or whatever, like I'm sure whomever inherited his estate, there was some transition, necessary. If he did pass on much of it to kids that took any particular, stake in leadership, which may or may not be likely. They probably not much may have changed in the leadership aspect, but I think you get what I'm trying to say here. The Empress takes time, so what I'm saying is, in that spread of cards, it might not be an easy decision to make. It might not be, you know, if a person is looking at two different choices, the Empress probably may not have looked like the Empress any more than the Emperor was truly the Emperor when he was making the choices that he made. At that point in time, he was probably more of a King of Pentacles, and so therefore he was looking for more of a Queen of Pentacles. And maybe perhaps the Strength card is a good projection of what was visible at that time. Someone that may not really have shown forthright potential in the way that was reflective to the image of the King of Pentacles, whereas the Queen of Pentacles is directly reflective. Like, oh, you in the money, I'm in the money. You want to get rich, I want to get rich. You want to be popular, you want to be prestigious, you want to have power, authority, or position and accolades and so on and so forth. Me too. Let's get this bag together. Like the Empress is someone that most empresses that are coming into their own now, it's like probably looked a hot ass mess. Just maybe, 5-10 years ago. But hindsight is 2020, it sure is. But in the grand scheme of things, when it all plays out, it's like, about the idea of things taking time, good things taking time. And it's like that immediate gratification with the Queen of Pentacles is probably good right away, and had immediate results. But there may have been a cap or a limitation on the return, so to speak. The Empress may have been an investment that took a little bit more time to wait on, to nurture, to condition, all those things. But it's going to be the biggest payout in the end, and the most sustainable as well. So, no wonder somebody's looking at their investments, their portfolio, if you will, and it's like, damn, if I had known that this was going to be that, I would have put all my money there instead of over there. But let's see what else we got. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, there's like no reconciliation. That's the the 6 of Swords reversed. I don't know if I've ever really had that before. So somebody's not moving forward, they're moving backwards. Let me get another one, because I know it's some of the same cards on that deck. What's on the bottom of the deck, since I didn't really shuffle them around? Six of Swords reversed. Oof. And here's that again. No wonder they stressed. Yeah. And it also is given light to what I was saying about how no, what is that? What is that I just heard? No take backs. No, what is something a kid would say, like no take backs, no takesies, or something like that I just heard. But I don't know, nothing that I don't think I've ever remember saying, but it sounds like very kiddish, like, you know, like Jinx, but not, something like that. But anyway, it also is giving a nod to what I was saying, is that somebody would wish they could turn around, but they're already, like, there's already motion behind fate that can't be undone, can't be stopped, can't be avoided or averted at this time. And it's like somebody at the Nine of Swords is pretty much just sitting waiting for the crash, is what I'm hearing. Waiting for their boat to capsize. And this could be mentally or emotionally, like somebody is going through it. Let me say, wow, with the Eight of Swords. They're either, damn, like somebody is either already in some type of mental imprisonment, maybe actual jail, or they feel like it's inevitable. Like they feel so stuck in the fate that they have created for themselves that it feels hopeless. They feel disempowered to do anything about it. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, it's like the Six of Swords sometimes could be reconciliation, and it's like they would want to go back again to reconcile that choice to do something different, but it's like, no. If someone would even try to return and go backwards, it would be worse than it is to move forward at this point. It would make matters even worse, is what I'm saying. What's that? Judgment, and that's it, because that's that on that. And it's on account of the decisions that somebody made themselves, like their own judgment or lapse of judgment, or like limited judgment. I don't know, but either way, it's like it's final. No takesies, no takebacks. What is that? Let me get one with judgment. Yeah, and here's the Two of Wands, where there's like a plan. Somebody, or I feel like somebody had a plan on how they could. Jay, I can hear you. I can hear you. Sorry, I tried to ignore him for a while, not to disturb you all, but it was kind of distracting. He's playing his game. He's not doing anything wrong in his 9-year-old life, but it's just distracting me in this moment. Two of Wands and the Judgment. This is I guess this could be someone's plan to try to double back being cut short or cut off. Let me see. Ooh, with the Star. Yeah, somebody was trying. Damn, somebody. Okay, this is going. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Somebody was trying to spin the block dimensionally, or in time. Now, for those that can't get what I'm saying, this again could just be generally practically on the surface, just somebody trying to like backtrack to what they lost, or trying to concoct a plan for them to get a second chance, because that's what judgment can be also. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Spirit, for that. To get a second chance. But for those that are a little bit more, have a bit wider range of perspective, this is somebody that was trying to jump timelines, but in the reverse. They were trying to go backwards in time to affect the present, but that gateway was not open to them, is not open to them. How you say, well, if you know, you know, and I don't really know how this person, what this person's particular method of madness was, but that's what they had in mind. That they thought that they could time travel or astral project or jump timelines from the past and fast forward it to a present, more desirable outcome, which is probably why they thought they had time to kind of just choose willy-nilly what worked best for them in the meantime. When they had the decision in the past, like, well, I could do this now, have my fun, make my money, you know, live the high life, fast life, whatever it is that they had in mind. And if they could always double back, or if they didn't like the outcome, that they could rearrange it. That's the Emperor, because someone thought or anticipated that they had more power and control over at least their personal narrative, if not others in this case, than they actually did. So as they tried to navigate themselves through the stars or through the celestials or through some type of portal or whatever access gate they thought they had, clearance for, they realized that they just didn't. And now it's too late to do anything but move forward. So everybody has the right to move forward, but this person's issue, as I said, is that they don't like the cards that they've dealt themselves ultimately in that forward motion. It's like they want to go back and switch hands or change hands or get a new deck or, you know, a new dealer. Take that however you hear it. Wow. But nope. Alas, that Stargate is closed. Whichever one that they thought would always be open to them is locked. It's secured, it's locked, it's closed, it's off limits, under surveillance, it's guarded. What else we got with this? She looked like the guard. Yeah, that gateway is not... It's very secure now. It's very... And let's take it back to what I was saying, even practically speaking, where someone may have always thought they could double back to the choice that they passed up. This is someone that's too headstrong to be seduced at this point. or to be persuaded beyond her high intellect or logic. You know what I mean? It's like this is maturity and growth. This is really a stark difference here from the Eight of Swords, where someone is disempowered, probably insecure, doesn't really know who they are, will kind of believe anything, maybe naive, to the Queen of Swords, who's like clear about what they hear and what they understand, and anything that is unclear is probably dismissed. Anything that doesn't make sense probably doesn't have a place in her resonance. So it's like somebody thinking that who they passed up once upon a time, when they didn't see the quality or the potential of their evolution or their maturity. Someone returning thinking to, to still engage that same energy as it was, like, this is hell, feels even less than almost one-dimensional. But in a sense, it even is still like if the Queen of Pentacles was one-dimensional in one way, then the Queen of Swords, I guess it's fair to say, could be as well. So it literally could be someone that would double back, thinking that someone is not, they ain't grown that much, they don't know that much, they're not that wise, they're not that smart or secure, or they feel like somebody might still be finessable. You know what I mean? Open enough to hear someone out and, be persuaded at least. But the Queen of Swords, we all know, like, with the Sun, oh man, yeah, that's brilliance we're talking about here. And unsuspecting brilliance, at least to someone who would be foolish enough to underestimate, at this point. Why can't I see my timer? Oh, it's covered. Okay. Yeah, it's like everything's been illuminated to someone, or just in general, like things have been illuminated, just as enlightened as someone may be now from hindsight to the present moment, is the same for whomever they may be considering to connect with or to get over on. You know what I mean? It's like that Emperor energy, there's an arrogance about it, or at least just a denial to accept the present as it is. Yeah, it's a denial, but it's on account of arrogance and ego, though, because it's like, well, damn, if you have a more clear perspective of what's going on, so much so that you can actually see. I was gonna see that. See the error of your ways, but it's not so much of them seeing this is the arrogance. It's not seeing the error of their ways. Admittedly, it's them having always believed that whatever choice they made would be the right one for the time at hand, because they always had the power to change it up if they saw fit. Now, whether that's practically speaking, to go get the one that got away, or the one they passed up on, or the opportunity that they rejected, whatever it is, or to literally hyped up on a power. My ears are ringing, like hyped up on a power of a resource of power that would allow them to literally say, oh, I don't like this life, I'm gonna go back and rearrange some things and have it the other way. I tried it this way, that was fun, that was cool, now let me go back and do it the other way. Yeah, I'll take that one now. No. Maybe that Stargate was open at a time for some lifetimes or in some dimensions or on some timelines that are unknown to this one, but for whatever reason, that is not how it's going down. At least not to those that I feel like it's more so about privilege and favor. It's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's like there was a certain amount of power that was disseminated at on trial to allow people, like, for almost like for the divine or universe, God, however you see it, to kind of see how people would operate if they had the the power, ultimately, I guess is what it comes down to do so. Like, how would they respond to omnipotence in a certain type of way? And maybe not full out omnipotence, but as far as humanity is concerned, like a certain level of power that almost seemed to like supersede human constraint, or at least dimensional, one dimensional, let's say three-dimensional confines. And people really showed who they were with that privilege. People showed who they were with it, and people showed who they were without it. People showed who they were on as a casualty of it. And it was all being well documented with that wheel of fortune. Like, it was all being observed and well documented on some celestial plane, wherever that may be, as a deep consideration for, like, in that trial time, as to what would be, what privileges and fortunes would be released when it, here in judgment, when it was absolute. It's like, all right, so that was a test run, that was a trial. Now we know how, what's the propensity of those with power and without, to how they handle it, and how, how trustworthy a being can be with and without power. Because the without aspect is just as important, because some people that didn't have power were also tested, or that whose powers were infringed upon or hampered, or whatever the case may be, stifled. There was a testing and a trial and a tribulation in that regard too, to see like what you might do to regain it. Might you sell your soul for a semblance of power, even in a carnal sense, in a practical sense, before you would actually cultivate it, in a co-creative process with the universe, even in ways that you didn't even know you really were. It gets deep, but ultimately it's like, that's the process that we were all, the microscope in some ways, that we were all under. And now in this post-judgment or judgment now sees, I don't know where we are with it, but whatever it is, it's now the moment where it's like, it really matters now. And those that may have had a certain level of power and authority and abused it are finding that they don't have that same access anymore, that same liberty anymore. Those that may, willful and pure and empowered, well, powerful, I would say, even in their disempowerment, but powerful intentions and decisions, whether they had power, knew of it, or didn't, are now being, infused with whatever measure, is decided, is judged, that is fair and favored to receive, because again of an exemplary an exemplification, if that's a word, of trustworthiness. Let me see. Well, that's the sign. The sun is a powerful presence here. Yeah, with the Chariot, here's the will right here as I'm saying it. It was all trial and error, trial and tribulation, simulation, perhaps. I don't know, But the Chariot definitely speaks to overcoming great feats and daunting tasks, almost insurmountable challenges to ultimately succeed at whatever this is that I'm speaking of. But hold on, let me get one more. That's a time traveler. Wow. Wow. Who, this is deep. I don't even know what to say about this. I was saying that because I'm seeing like the Sphinx is at his feet. It's like this is the energy of someone that did take the challenge or operate in their function of liberty and freedom, and like exercise their liberty and freedom of power properly, or at least appropriately in the divine's eyes, because I guess I can't really say was proper or not, but on account of however and whatever was being judged effectively, this is someone that stood the test of time, stood up to the challenge, someone that has the keys. Like they have successfully traveled. They've been some places, they've seen some things, and it's given that they were able to maintain a certain decorum dimensionally that was honorable. And it's like this is the only type of energy that's the Queen of Swords, i.e. the Empress, at perfect confirmation of where I was seeing these energies, would be open to. And that could be the reason why the gateway is closed to whomever wanted to circle the block, is because they don't carry the energetic signature that has been adorned by the divine, with that divine stamp of approval at this point, to even be an option. That's one reason why the gateway is closed. This was given that somebody was going to try to force themselves in the door anyway, or maybe did try to at some point force themselves into the doorway that they felt entitled to have access to, even after they chose otherwise. But it's the Empress's choice, respectfully. She is the Stargate. Look at the stars on her head, on her crown, and the star on the Chariot's what helmet, I don't know, whatever, this general's helmet or whatever that is. So somebody, they couldn't see the forest for the trees ultimately. They didn't see the future potential, the fate of the long run. They only saw what was most immediately gratifying with a jaded perspective of what they still had control to to what they still had power to control or to seize at their own will, regardless of anyone else's will or against anyone else's. And they were poorly, are sadly mistaken. And this is the energy of someone now. It's like now knowing that those gateways are closed, that pathway, that plan of action is no longer an option. This is the Nine of Swords energy, because it's like a damn, now what? Now someone is forced to face their fate. And it's not one that they can manhandle anymore or panhandle anymore. I feel energy on that. Literally panhandle, like switch out or trade or hustle to someone else. This is a lot in this energy that I'm feeling that I can't even get into because I feel like it'll get too long. But this is a power couple right here. The Chariot and the Empress. Two multi-dimensional beings that understood their own personal assignment, took it seriously, and carried it out honorably. Didn't take any shortcuts, didn't try to cause any casualty to anyone else on account of what they felt most gratified to obtain or experience. Didn't make their trials and tribulations anybody else's problem, deceitfully or with malintent. They stood in the charge to evolve, and they carried it out to the finish. Damn. Three of Pentacles here. Some type of collaborative effort. For the Ace of Pentacles, that's either still like this intention to like come together to get the coin or get whatever this prized possession. Yeah, like here's this gentleman here still trying to rally troops to gain the prize, but the issue is that their perspective is still distorted, like it's still materialized, literally materialized. They only see material gratification and in the most immediate and abundant form they can possibly have it. But in this case, it's like you're only willing to do Three of Pentacles work for what is a divine gift. This is not somebody that was willing to do Chariot work, Emperor, true Emperor or Empress work to get the big payout. They wanted to take shortcuts, be underhanded, work under the table, get somebody else to do it type of energy. And then still, if they don't like the outcome, then they'll go back to the last lifetime or two or dimension or the other and just, F some stuff up in their own favor. not caring what and who and how it might affect the future. And it's like the universe is not allowing that to go on anymore. It's time for creation to move forward. And those that want to continuously keep it on a backspin, a tailspin, have been stripped of their power and clearance to do so. So somebody that's still trying to gain like underground access through other people or through maybe, you know, some secret means. The same guy, you know, he's still, or this energy, I should say, still trying to work a plan that was doomed from the start, really, no matter how successful or how productive, I'll say profitable, because it wasn't all that productive, but it may have been profitable in the past. But this is somebody that's still resisting the reality of, you know, times have changed and they're not ever going back to what they were. No matter how many secret pathways you think you can, you know, or gateways, portals you think you can access through whomever, however, what practice, what ritual, it doesn't matter. Who you pay, who you solicit, no one can forge their way into gateways that the divine has closed, and no one can open them unless they're given clearance to do so. And at this point in time, that clearance and that accessibility has already been assigned to whomever it's been decided is worthy and more so trustworthy to receive it. And those that truly have are not even looking to manipulate it, which is why they have it in the first place. Those that actually are trustworthy with such high levels of power and influence and access are aware of the sensitivity of it and therefore wouldn't abuse it for their own gratification. You know, it's levels to this. And the universal law must be respected before you can find yourself in favor of anything extra beyond the 3D. So the root awakening is that here it is, 3D with the Three of Pentacles. Somebody's trying to gain a higher dimension of authority or power or access here with the Ace of Pentacles, some type of key or something they're trying to gain access to. But even if they found it, it wouldn't operate for them. It wouldn't work because the energy signature is not in alignment. It's an access denied type of situation. So you don't have the right credentials, the right badge, the right clearance. All you can do at this point is move forward. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. This was an interesting message, though. There's more that I could say, but I'm going to leave it there for now. The most pure of divine gifts, talents, abilities, and those that conduct them, those that embody them, those that are them, are safe and secure. That's what I will say for sure. There's no cause for alarm whatsoever. And those that are again still trying to find access to something that they haven't earned righteously are putting themselves in grave danger. And I'm really going to leave it at that. All right. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.